Hey amigos, this is Carlos, Passion Warrior, and this is day 3 of my 8-day retreat here in Costa Rica. Last Thursday night we had opening circle of our first ceremony here at Awaken Your Soul. Anthony Esposito, the organizer, opened the ceremony with fire to uh, cleanse the space and for protection. The tradition of Witi is the fire is life. Then after that, Anthony talked about the Witi tradition and how Iboga was discovered. I'm not gonna get into details of that. I'll probably post another video about that, which is very interesting. Um, but after that, we went around the circle to talk about a little bit about intentions. And really, for me, was to clear the space for me. You know, allow me to have clarity, allow me to have direction on what to do, for now, for this year, in regards to my family and all my affairs and my business, everything. So for me, I just wanted to clear the clutter and start fresh. So then Anthony came around with a tablespoon, with a spoon, and fed us, iboga. uh, about a tablespoon or so of this powder, which is the bark, very shredded. And it's not easy to take that. It's not easy to swallow. It feels very chalky, very greeny in your mouth, and then you chug it down with water. And then we sat around the fire, waiting for the medicine to to start. Waiting for the medicine to start to take effect. Last time, my first Iboga experience, I was the last one to leave the circle. And I realized then, I didn't realize then, but I realized now it was because I was trying to control the outcome of the journey and came in with specifics on how this should go and what is it that I want. Well, this time I was open, so I was the first one to feel the medicine, and for me, it started like this big, loud buzzing, Zzzz, and I knew, something I felt, and so I went down, laid down. They give you blindfolds, so you can journey within. And I sat there, but nothing happened in the beginning. It was like, oh my God, was a false alarm? But no, later I start seeing very, uh, very faint sounds and very blurry images that were coming from all angles, and I could start hearing things from people from all over, from around me, and I took my blindfolds off to look around who's behind me, and there was nobody there, So the auditory senses, they get enhanced, and you can hear everything, even though there's nothing there. Uh, but these visuals that I had were unlike the first experience that I had, which was very vivid, very clear in my face, and they had the meaning. This is it. Uh, this is why I was doing what I do, and why I say what I said. What was going on in my life. This time, it started with people just popping out of nowhere, and unrecognizable faces. I didn't know who they were. Last time it were family members, so this time was completely random people. And but it all to start to take a vibe of death, of darkness. Um, there were people just coming up, and a face will transform, which I didn't recognize, and then it morphs to another face, and then another face, which is recognizable, a friend or family member, but no message, no real meaning. And I start seeing more darkness. I saw the veil, which is usually one of the first things that I see. It's just like a big tapestry, just floating around, with different patterns and everything. I can almost feel it, grazing my skin. The Then it starts to getting a little bit more concerning of more darkness, and I hear this, And all of a sudden, this shroud starts to come out in front of me, and I could see how it expands into claws, and I could see it looks like a ghost or an evil one, evil eyes, and fangs. Um, then I felt this a waving in front of me, and I thought it was me moving the blanket, but it was. I realized it it went up like this and down and continued moving. I could see the continuation of the mass that it was going around me, and it turns out to be a snake uh, wrapped around me in coils. Uh, no meaning. I see some patterns on the skin, but I couldn't figure it out. But then more people just came in. I don't know where they just pop up faces, we morph into something, and then disappear. Even the guy from Seinfeld, Kramer, came in with his big nose, in front of me like this. Uh, oversized hands and feet, very lanky bodies, and even Egyptian, not Egyptian but African woman with a full ceremonial regalia and all that, very red and gold uh, attachments to it. Uh, so it was bizarre. I didn't know what to make out of it, and I couldn't stay still on the mat. But I was not getting agitated. I was not getting frustrated or anything like that. I just let it flow, and I just enjoyed the what I was seeing. Uh, but then over time, as the hours passed, I felt the need to go to the bathroom, and I started developing diarrhea, and I started building something here on my throat, which is very uncomfortable. So, I had to go to the bathroom like twice, start feeling sick and everything. And I never purged on the first ayahuasca. When I did, was more of an energetic purge going through the process. But this time I purged more than 3 times throughout the night, which is quite surprising for me and very gratifying. I did not like the taste of Iboga in my mouth. Very greedy, very. The taste is, I cannot describe it, and it has chunks of Iboga in my perch, on the bucket, in my mouth. Um, I didn't like that. And all I wanted to was to sleep. And then Wheaty, excuse me, Wheaty music was playing hard, very energetic music, and I'm like, oh my God, when is this gonna stop? Um, but again, as for me, all I wanted is peace, but I was not getting desperate and everything. I just needed peace and quietude. And um, Anthony, I believe Anthony and Amber came down to check on me and kind of guided me or offering suggestions. And they asked me how I felt, and I first thing that came up in my mind was the anger. And they asked me where does that anger came from, and it, immediately I thought of my children. When I lose my shit, and start yelling at them because that's the only way that I can get some action out of them. And then I saw myself from a third person, as an observer, in moments of my past life, in different situations, as a younger me, uh, angry and yelling, and always I could see the features of my face and everything in clear detail. And I was like, holy shit, you know, I'm, I've always been like this, you know. I always, lose my shit, blow some gasket, and hell break loose. And I realized that my dad also, has a short fuse for some things, and he would raise his voice and whatnot. And that was, back then, the 70s and 80s. I mean, there's nothing to think about. That's the way that, you know, uh, I think, that's the way that the culture is in Puerto Rico, it's not a violent or anything like that, or super aggressive. It's just like, raise your voice to get your attention. Um, so now it hit me that, my son, he has anger issues too, and I'm, asking why, where you got this from, or from who, what's going on, and I realized that, yeah, I've been projecting that shit to him, and he finds himself when he's being misunderstood, or the same when there's something is wrong that he didn't do. He wants to say something, and we shut him down, and that's the same thing that happens to me as well. So it was very revealing, this journey. As I talked with more people, it was clear that it was a detoxing uh, of sorts, of getting rid of anything that no longer serves me, getting rid of all the negative energy and everything. So we prepare me for the second ceremony, into coming full circle and receive the medicine. So ceremony, it took another turn when they changed the music to more ceremonial music, which I'm familiar with, like ayahuasca, and I felt that it was a blessing, very soothing. So it kind of that toned everything down, but I still couldn't fall asleep. Around 5:30 or 6 in the morning, we're told to go to our rooms, and I hoped that I was gonna lay down and sleep, but I couldn't. And if I could have it still, probably 28, 30 hours later, I haven't been able to take a full nap. Yesterday was recovery day, which it was all a blur. I was still feeling weak, tired. Um, I took a jump, swim in the pool. It was very refreshing. I felt another layer of me just peeled off, like the layers of the skin. I felt really good. I probably took a nap here and there in the hammock and the lounge chairs, but I haven't been able to fully take a full rest, full sleep, because every time I lay my body in bed and my body's resting, but my mind is active, which also indicates, how much time I had spent inside of my mind and not in my body. So those are good takeaways that I want to remember. Be patient with myself and my children. Avoid raising my voice. Even count to 10. Take a walk. And don't take it personal. They're allowed to be individuals and express whatever they want to express. Is how I take it, how I respond to that. So that's it for now. I will post another video later on, and thank you all for watching. Baze.